All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat this story. Now, I want to be very clear when I cover this, because this has to deal with everybody's favorite controversial person, Luigi. No, not Luigi from Super Mario Brothers. Oh, no. We're talking about Luigi who popped the United Healthcare CEO. Apparently, Luigi has a lawyer. Now, I'm not saying this. I saw this on the internet, and the memes of his lawyer are priceless. And it reminds me now that I've never seen this movie, and perhaps once I'm free of a lot of things, especially in February, okay, because we might see the return of movie night in February, we're going to watch my Cousin Vinny, all right, starring Joe Pesci, because Luigi's lawyer, Thomas Dickey, the internet has said he looks like him, okay? It's the memes. The internet, it's the internet, not me. It's the internet. And listen, 2024 has 2024, year of the dragon. Give me dragon emojis in the chat right now. Okay. It's supposed to be a year of good luck, good fortune. Okay. I've had some good fortune and good luck here and there. It wasn't all gloom and doom. But Thomas Dickey is one hell of a character. And yes, that's his name. Look, things aren't really adding up, especially with this whole situation with what happened to the United Healthcare CEO. I mean, more of this story is going to develop. But the hard lens media advice is this. Number 1, breathe in, breathe out. Number 2, grab yourself a tasty beverage. And number 3, make some popcorn, because 2025 is going to be one hell of a ride, okay? So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Dickey goes full Joe Pesci outside the court. And I didn't write this, okay? This guy did, okay? Doherty, he wrote this. Let's go ahead and play this. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Dickey, who I think we're going to be quoting a lot here at Hard Lens Media. So let's play this video. Here he is answering questions to the press. You're hearing this first here at Hard Lens Media.
Informing the
Now, I will be raising the volume on this, so I'll be keeping my pausing at a minimum, but let's go ahead and play it.
Corrections Department about something, and I didn't understand what you were asking.
Not really. Oh, no, I think all I asked was the shares to keep my client around for a little bit so I could talk to him.
And what did you discuss?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that. You're kidding, right? You've been on that.
Sir, your client said something to reporters as he was walking in about this being an insult to the American people. Do you have any comment on that?
I have to take a look at that. No, I don't have any comment on that. I just know that, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on something I haven't seen or heard.
Any comment on the outpouring of support there's been for him online?
No, I mean, people are entitled to their opinion. And like I said, if you're an American, you believe in the American criminal justice system, you have to presume to be innocent. And none of us would want anything other than that if that were us in those shoes. And so I'm glad he has some support.
Mr. Dick, you just said a moment.
Oh, God. Now, 54. Hey, I'm going to challenge you on that. In order for SNL to have a field day, they got to have funny writers. SNL does not have funny writers anymore. Okay. Now, is that me being mean? Absolutely. But you know I'm right. All of you in my live stream chat have more humor and more talent in writing than anyone at SNL. Okay. So take confidence with that. Audience, have a field day. But, look, a little thing here. I'm rooting for Thomas Dickey here, okay? Hashtag in a future Kit Cabello presidential administration. This guy's gonna be my lawyer.
A moment ago that's what lawyers do when telling their clients to be quiet. What did you mean by that?
Well, no, I mean, because I'm going to do all the talking. You know, it's you have the right to remain silent, and I believe in that right.
All right. And you are Thomas, Thomas?
Thomas, yes, middle initial M-D-I-C-K-U-R.
So what are your thoughts on the press conference later today?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sorry. You know what? I haven't received anything. I got paperwork, and I want to meet with the district attorney, and we'll have hearings. We'll be able to see all that, but I haven't seen anything.
Are you, as a human being, aware of what happened in New York over the last week? Were you aware of this before you were retained?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of time to follow news. I, of course, knew of it, but I don't follow a lot of things sometimes in news because sometimes the press gets things wrong. Like I said, I was very irritated, getting some backlash already that some news agency had indicated we waived the arraignment. We waived the extradition, and that's what.
Now that's priceless right there. Hey, sometimes the press gets things wrong. I like this guy already. Oh, this is gonna be a clown show. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great, man. Like, look, if Thomas Dickey can pull this off, Thomas Dickey is a guy you could trust.
What irritates lawyers like me is if you're going to print it.
Hold on, we're gonna rewind that again.
In New York over the last weekend. Were you aware of this before you were retained?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of time to follow news. I, of course, knew of it, but I don't follow a lot of things sometimes in news because sometimes the press gets things wrong. Like I said, I was very irritated, getting some backlash already that some news agency had indicated we waived the arraignment. We waived the extradition, and that's what irritates lawyers like me is if you're going to print it, get it right.
Do you find it surreal that you're now representing the guy they've been looking for?
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Is this the biggest case you've ever been on?
Yeah, they're all big. All my clients, whether it's a speeding ticket or whether it's a death penalty case, which I am qualified to do death penalty case in Pennsylvania, so they're all big. All my clients are equally important to me.
Now, obviously, that's lawyer talk, but yeah, all my clients are important to me. Of course it should. Oh, man. Holy cow. Oh, man. If I've never seen My Cousin Vinny. I've never seen that movie, okay? People said, hey, have you seen this movie? Like, no, I never had the chance to see it. Fermilab, what'd you do with that hydrogen collider machine or whatever it's called, okay? What'd you do with it? Did you screw up the timeline? Did in some alternate dimension we actually got like a Joe Pesci type lawyer coming to our timeline? Because this is pure gold. There's a lot of seriousness around the story, okay? It talks about the situation of healthcare in this country, the pain Americans are going through. But leave it to this year, especially the decade of 2020, because just because the year 2020 is over doesn't mean the decade of 2020 is over, okay? Leave it to this decade to put in one more little caveat, one more little shiny thing to brighten our lives.
You just explain to regular folks like what's going to happen, the timeline from now.
Yeah, like I said, probably something maybe in about the next month. You know, like I said, the judge set some motions, some deadlines, and they're going to have to come up with some things. We're going to have to come up with some things, and we're going to move forward with that. So, just kind of pay attention to that. And
Right. It seemed like on the bench you guys were sharing a little laugh. Like, have you formed a little friendship with him?
sharing on the bench when you went on
Like
the
when
bench.
you were sitting up there at the table, you were kind of have you formed a
yeah.
friendship with him?
Like, yeah, I'm hanging out with the guy. Yeah, sure. Talk to the guy. Laugh with. Of course. Listen, he's in jail. You got to line the mood up for him a little bit. Like, hey, man, you got, hey, listen, sometimes the lawyer's got to, especially if you're on the defense, you gotta get a little bit of that cheer. Like, hey, listen, don't worry, man. We'll get you out of this. Don't worry. There's more to this. Listen. We're gonna have ourselves a great segment for talking about this. Hang on, just a little bit more. Bear with me, my lovelies.
Yeah, I mean, he's my client, and I want him to have trust and faith in me, and I have trust and faith in him, and yeah, I mean, we're human beings, and we have a relationship.
Is he going to have a trust in the system? Is he going to have a trust in the system?
Well, I'm trying to, that's why I talk about presumption of innocence, things like that. I'm hoping to instill that trust in the system with it. Again, I can't comment any further on that.
Do you have any concern about his health, mental health? You have to reach out to explore.
I won't comment on that. That doesn't mean I do or I don't, but I just.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Coach. Thank you. Nothing, just an attorney-client relationship. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We try to form a bond.
Name again one more time.
Thomas, Thomas. Middle initial M as in Mark. Dickey, Dickey.
Were you retained by them, or?
I've not court appointed. I was retained. That's all. That's all.
Are you local? Where are you coming from?
I'm my main office is in Altoona.
And you have anything that you can share about your conversations with them, or state of mind, or anything?
No, I don't.
What do you have to say?
Thank you, sir.
So wait, everyone stop for a second, okay? Because right now, folks, I need to make things very clear here. I'm actually looking at the law offices of Thomas M. Dickey on a Google review. Already, it's got 4.3 reviews, 104 reviews, right? Most relevant. So hang on, we're gonna click on the newest. Lawyer for the people. Thank you very much. 5-star review. He's getting a whole bunch of 5-star review, man, from a lot of people. People saying free Luigi, good man. He's a smart man. I look forward to him to defending Luigi. Hashtag free Luigi. Amazing lawyer, believes in the good healthcare for all. We don't know that. He's never said that. Best lawyer in the business, free Luigi. American people are behind you. Oh my goodness, there's gonna be a book deal. And if there's not a Netflix series, I don't know what is. Hey, someone make sure Joe Pesci's still in physical fitness, okay? That he could act, so we could put him in another acting role. Because I think that this will be his magnum opus. Joe Pesci portraying Thomas M. Dickey. But here's the thing. There's a lot of things I got to question here, okay? Because this was also shared to us by Hotspot. And Luigi's attorney, Thomas Dickey, states that there's zero evidence that Luigi was the assailant. Because I got to be careful with the words on YouTube of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of evidence on the prosecution side, but I just found the statement to be fascinating. So all of you can listen to it as well.
The suspect's attorney, Thomas Dickey, addressing the charges against his client while speaking to reporters just a few minutes ago. Take a listen.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's, like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things. If you're going to report something, report it accurately. And remember, and this is not just a small thing, the fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence. And until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I've seen zero evidence at this point.
He said across the board, he anticipates that his client, Mangione, will likely plead not guilty, as you said, to the charges there in Pennsylvania for that ghost gun and fake IDs that police said that they found on him when he was arrested. And that when those murder charges officially come down from New York, that they anticipate pleading not guilty there as well. He's saying he hasn't seen any evidence that his client is the shooter. He's saying he should be presumed innocent for now. And we know that Dickey was hired.
Mastermind Hour, My Cousin Dicky, the sequel to My Cousin Vinny. Mastermind Hour, you don't have to worry about seeing the White House counselor today. On this day, you are pardoned. May you have nothing but good fortune today be blessed upon you. This was not on my bingo card.
He should be presumed innocent for now. And we know that Dickey was hired just this afternoon. He's a private criminal defense attorney in that Pennsylvania.
Okay, who did this? I'm trying to cover a serious story here, and somebody in my audience, My Cousin Dicky. Oh, hey. Whoever this is, ladies and gentlemen, mandatory thumbs up in the live stream chat right there. That's not him, but somebody, maybe My Cousin Dicky, has joined us here in the Heartlands media community. Everyone, welcome. Welcome him to the chat. Who did this? Who did this? Who did this?
evidence that his client is the shooter. He's saying he should be presumed innocent for now. And we know that Dickey was hired just this afternoon. He's a private criminal defense attorney in that Pennsylvania area obtained by Mangione. He was by his side in that extradition hearing earlier today. This, of course, all coming after Mangione's arrest at that McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday. And Dickey explained that he believed his client was entitled to bail and believed that the judge should have said it today. And earlier, he said that Mangione is taking this as well as he can.
So a few other things here too, because again, what a character. You know, I think if this trial goes through, we're gonna get quotes that are pure gold. Because something tells me that Thomas Dickey watches a lot of movies because he quotes Airplane. That's another movie I've never seen before. Okay, I mean, wait, hold on. I've seen it, but it was such a long time ago that technically I forgot it all. All right, so yeah, I got ourselves a lineup for movie night in February. Okay, I promise. Now, my apologies. The volume is a little low on this, so we'll be raising the volume up on this as best as I can. Let me play it again. It's only 10 seconds. What's going on with the timeline? Who did this? Who did this? Fermilab, what'd you do? So here's where Luigi did his infamous yelling at the press, saying it's not fair. So because we got a full interview that Thomas Dickey did on CNN. Hang on. Hold on. Did they slam him into the wall? Hold on. Let me watch that again. All right. It looks like the cop hit the door. All right. Never mind. My apologies if there's no audio. Hold on. Let me go ahead and take that down. I apologize. I apologize for that. Stop sharing. Sometimes StreamYard does that. My apologies. My apologies indeed. There we go. This time audio should be working. Down.
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch, and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
So yes, again, I'm gonna keep that in there, but the reason why I was rewinding it because he was saying it's an insult to the American intelligence to the American people. But the reason why I was rewinding it because I thought he was hit into the door. I was wrong about that. It was a cop that was pushed into the door.
An insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Okay, so there you go. There you go. But now let's go ahead and pull on the full interview. And again, I do apologize for the audio not playing out for that. But let's go ahead and at least play this right here. So, CNN. Full interview with Thomas Dickey.
My lead source tonight is the attorney who is representing Luigi Mangione, Thomas Dickey, and it's great to have you here, sir. I just want to say thank you. I know this has been moving very quickly, and you said earlier you were retained today to represent him. And so can you just tell us, how's your client doing in jail tonight?
Well, Caitlin, thank you for having me. As I've been saying all day, if you put yourself, I tell everybody to use their common sense. Here we have a young man who is incarcerated without bail, as you alluded to. And apparently he's going to be charged with murder in the state of New York. So if you use your common sense, I'm sure he's, it's concerning. That's all I can say.
Well, you've been an attorney for decades. What did you make of the way he went into court earlier, that outburst that he had?
I'm still.
Okay, first of all, hey, audience. Hey, you You'll get a like and a heart if you could do a funny Mario reference, okay? Just because his name is Luigi, come on, you don't have to bring up the Super Mario Brothers. What's wrong with my audience?
Still analyzing that. I was actually on the other side of the wall when he came in, so I didn't hear all that statement. I've been busy all day, so I haven't had a chance to analyze that. So, yeah, I'm not going to comment on something, unfortunately, until I can have a chance to hear that in detail and break that down.
Well, being on the other side of it, you were inside that courtroom, of course, and we learned about what happened in there. You're fighting extradition for him to New York. Why are you fighting that? It seems like it's inevitable that he will be sent to New York.
Well, that may be, but again, the Constitution, and I know I keep bringing up that word today, lest we forget about that. But the Constitution gives you certain rights, and we need to make informed decision. And the law permits, and the Constitution permits, that somebody in Luigi's position has the opportunity to look at evidence, make sure the government follows through a process, and that's what we're doing. So again, I've been in this case probably about 12, 14 hours, maybe whatever, give or take, and I haven't seen a speck of evidence at all. I argued today at the extradition hearing. I still haven't received details about the charges that he's facing in New York. I heard your introduction and looking into that. But so we as lawyers need to make informed decisions, and we need to get our hands and our eyes on some evidence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the charges right here. It's murder, a loaded firearm, 2 counts of that, a forged instrument, and criminal possession of a weapon as well. I mean, those are the charges from New York. I mean, so as you're fighting extradition, you're not actually arguing that the authorities in New York have the wrong guy, are you?
Well, I haven't seen any evidence that they have the right guy. I can tell you that much. So I don't know anything about that. There's identification issues that are present, and so I don't. Like I said, this is why I need to look at some things, and they need to.
Now, here's the thing. So many of you are probably wondering, like, okay, what's going on? Well, this is lawyer speak, okay? So he's got to be very careful how he speaks of his client, and corporate media and their soulless automatons that they have spewing out their neoliberal soup should realize that by now, because this is what lawyers have to do. They have to be like, well, I have to look at all the evidence, and we have to see what was presented, how the police apprehended the suspect, what evidence they do have, witnesses, and everything else. So hey, listen. Just so y'all know, Gotti and Alphonse Capone, they had some lawyers get them out of some tricky situations there too. And in this household, Alphonse Capone is a hero. In my household, Alphonse Capone is a hero. Oh, but kid, he was part of an outfit. Yeah, he wore a lot of outfits. What are you implying? The IRS went after an Italian American, a hardworking, good-hearted citizen. Show me proof that he was part of some sort of, underground organization. Hey, facts, not feelings.
Convinced me. I try to remind people, and it's a shame that we forget about this presumption of innocence that the Constitution gives all Americans. And people don't worry about the Constitution until they're facing charges or accusations against them. Then trust me.
Well,
hey, listen, Caitlin, listen to Thomas Dicky. All right. When you're in a tricky spot, get Dicky. I just came up with that. God, I love this show. When you're in a tricky spot, call Dicky. Great lawyer from the great state of Pennsylvania. Don't you ever stop, people of Pennsylvania. You got some love from people in Chicago.
Caitlin, the Constitution matters.
And of course it does. And
yes,
I know you highlighted earlier and emphasized innocent until proven guilty. I understand that. But I read the police report from when he was arrested. He initially gave them a false name. And then when they asked to confirm his identity.
You're goddamn right, Jenny Lynn. You're goddamn right. Real ones know Capone fed the people. Guess who I was rooting for in Untouchables? Take a wild guess who I was rooting for in Untouchables.
He said that he shouldn't have lied to them about it. I mean, that would seem to be that they do have the right person, given that he had a gun on him. He had a fake New Jersey ID that he used to check into a hostel. I mean, is none of that enough for you personally to know that they do have the right guy?
Well, first of all, that's a piece of paper. I know you probably can't tell, but
That's a piece of paper. I know you can't. So I should not have paused. Wait. Oh, I'm having too much fun here. I'm having too much fun here with this. This is great. This is great. Come on, Dick. Give her some tricks.
Confirm his identity. He said that he shouldn't have lied to them about it. I mean, that would seem to be that they do have the right person, given that he had a gun on him. He had a fake New Jersey ID that he used to check into a hostel. I mean, is none of that enough for you personally to know that they do have the right guy?
Well, first of all, that's a piece of paper. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm 5'6". I could write on that I'm 6'5" and all this other kind of stuff. So that's written on paper. What's nice about the law is we'll have a hearing. I can cross-examine witnesses and find out, look at reports and find out what they have and what they don't have. So again, that's just written on a criminal complaint. Without getting into the details of that, I don't see any evidence of a forgery. They're going to have to at least prove a prima facie case, which is less than the beyond a reasonable doubt. But I need to see these things. Right now I
love this guy. I love this guy. This guy. He's number one in my book. Number one in my book. Tricky Dick, lawyer of the people.
One piece of paper. And again, so yes,
Mr. Dickey, have you asked to see this?
I have a copy. If that's the Pennsylvania complaint, I have a copy of that.
But have you asked to see the evidence
near the end? Well, that's what we're good. We have a hearing coming up on, I believe, the 23rd. I apologize if I'm in error about that because there's a bunch of dates that's been flying around today. But yes, and like I said, tomorrow I'm going to reach out to the district attorney. It's my intentions and to see if, how much we can see of this stuff. So today was not about that. So we have not had the opportunity to do that today.
And I know you were also unhappy that he was denied bail. Of course, prosecutors were arguing that he is a risk. You know, they either have to talk about, being a flight risk or a risk to the community. Obviously, he was captured about 250 miles from Manhattan. But you said you were retained today. One big question that everyone has is, are you being paid by his family?
Yes, and Meadalita, idiot host trying to out-lawyer this veteran. Like, yes, corporate media, stay in your lane, okay? You got a lot of these jagoffs in the establishment trying to be like, oh, well, gee, maybe this or that or the other. Listen, corporate media, right now, all of you should be armchair generals being lawyers, okay? Because weren't you guys saying for a long time, ever since 2016, oh, Trump's going to jail, walls are closing in on Trump, every single segment, CNN, ABC, CBS, at BSDNC. Again, there's a thing called process and a system and how the process works. Hashtag corporate media, stay in your lane. So don't worry, folks. Don't worry, folks. Corporate media has a lot of humble pie to eat because they thought they had it all correct about Donald Trump and how he was going to go to jail. And that never happened.
Family to represent him?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, can you say that it's not his family who is asking you to retain him or to retaining you to represent him?
I'm not going to comment on. I'm not going to comment on.
No comment on. That's too personal. You stupid. Never mind.
That that's I've been retained. I'm not court appointed. I've been retained, and that's all I can tell you.
We had seen reports earlier that there was, people were inundating you with offers to help pay for his legal bills. Is that accurate?
I have received some emails. I have not seen them personally, but my understanding from my staff is people are doing that.
That people are reaching out to you and offering to help pay for his legal bills.
Yes, P. Wayne. From this interview, this looks like a trap, but you can't trap tricky Thomas Dickey. All right? Dickey knows how to pull out of any trap. No pun intended.
That's correct.
Would you accept those offers? I mean, I imagine you maybe have, I don't know. Have you ever gotten that before?
Nah, nah, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't.
Why do you think you would not accept?
Oh my God. Oh, somebody make it stop. She's being decimated. Stop. She's being beat. Callan, you're out of your element. Get out of there.
That?
I don't know. I just I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable about that. So I don't know. I
New Jersey native. After the video, the attorney went to the bada being in the club. Yeah, he talked to Tony about a few things, you know? Yeah. You know, this information shite, Tone, it really works.
I haven't given that much thought, but I'm not looking, I mean, obviously my client appreciates the support that he has, but I don't know. I just, I'd have to look in, but it just doesn't sit right with me, really.
Why do you think they're offering?
I don't know. People, you talk about, the Supreme Court says,
Prim 54, get up, go see the White House counselor right now. Go right now.
All these rich billionaires can give all kind of money to candidates, and that's free speech. So maybe these people are exercising their right to free speech and saying that's the way they're supporting my client.
You noted there that you said he supports or he appreciates the support that he's getting. Did he acknowledge that when you had a conversation with him earlier about how we have seen this?
Well, of course he's going to be happy he's got support. I mean, my goodness, anybody would be happy. Okay? Especially when you're in defense. Alphonse Capone had support. Okay? Not a lot of people are like, woo, Alphonse Capone's go to jail. Everyone forgot that he fed people. He was beloved by a lot of people in Chicago. I mean, if he wanted to play stupid games with Alphonse Capone would be more than happy to play a game with you. What the details of said game would be is up in the air because I don't know what they are. I mean, come on. There's a lot of accusations being thrown around Alphonse. The IRS arrested him for tax evasion. That other thing, whatever happened there, doesn't exist in this household.
Intense public interest in him himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, Caitlin, I can't get into anything that my client and I talk about. So by law, I'm not permitted to reveal anything that's attorney-client privilege in any conversation that occurs between he and I is simply that.
I understand that, but could you describe just what his demeanor is? You're talking about putting.
And by the way, just so you guys know, this was an earlier photo. It was posted also on Hotspot as well. Please be sure to follow him. But if you do look at the jeans, yes, he was in there for a while in which he wetted himself. So there you go.
Yourself in his shoes, but did he seem nervous? Did he seem calm, or how did he come off to you when you met him?
Well, yeah, and if we have a minute, I do want to go back to that bail situation if we have a quick second. But anyway, I've been telling people all day to use their common sense. Here's a young man who's, apparently going to be or has been charged with a very serious, one of the most serious offenses a person could be charged with. He's in prison without bail, as you previously mentioned. And so, I think common sense would say, he's concerned.
Do you plan on representing him only in Pennsylvania or also in New York?
Well, that will depend. I got to see how this process pans out. And if in fact I were asked to do that, I certainly would consider that and probably do that.
Thomas Dickey, I know you've had a very busy day. Thank you for your time tonight.
That was a terrible interview. Thomas Dickey, you're more than welcome to go on Hard Lens Media. We'll give you a proper interview. I don't know what this was from CNN, but there he is, folks. Listen, the memes are going to be priceless. Caitlin is the uncoolest Vulcan ever. Absolutely. So I just want you guys to understand that this entire situation that's happening with the fallout, what happened to the United Healthcare CEO, is still ongoing. I mean, the talk about Medicare for all, the talk about insider trading, the talk about these quote unquote wonderful corporations that still deny healthcare to Americans. I mean, this is a conversation that's going to be continuous throughout all of 2025. This is going to be priceless. There'll be laughs, there'll be tears, there'll be cries of joy. Does Thomas Dickey have a chance? Well, like any lawyer, they have to go through the process, read through the evidence. It all depends on how strong the prosecutor's case is and whether or not they have, true follow through. Because, folks, the system's never perfect. Prosecutors can and do screw up. Things do screw up. And there's a lot of things in question that we have to ask ourselves because there's a lot of factors to put in here. First of all, there were 2 major protests that took place at United Healthcare headquarters way back in spring and in the summer of 2024 of this year. There's also the fact that there has been numerous reports of them denying healthcare to many of their customers. Also for the fact that, yes, there's been talks of insider trade deals. Oh, surprise, surprise. A corporation and its people doing insider trade deals. Heaven forbid. I thought the system was filled with integrity. And then the situation at hand with the assailant going after and deleting the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thomas. The story still continuous, and who knows whether or not Luigi is sent to New York for further trial, or it stops right then and there, thanks to the actions of one Thomas Dickey. But in my book, first impressions are lasting impressions. This was not in my 2024 bingo card. Thomas Dickey, lawyer of the people.